Welcome to the Explosion Fitness Solution channel for YouTube. Today we have a couple summer slim down exercises that we would like to share with you. We're going to have Matt Schauber showing you and Tom showing you, both of which are two of our trainers. Okay, please enjoy our videos.
Summer just right around the corner. We're going to go over a few basic exercises that anyone can do here today at Explosion Fitness Solutions. So the very first exercise we're going to show you is what we call a Sahrmans. So I'm going to have Schauber here to demonstrate. He's going to bring his arms up near his shoulders. It's going to be 90-degree position. Elbows slightly bent. We want to make sure that we minimize the gap between the lower back and the floor. And then from here, he's going to try his best at all times to keep his elbow, his forearm, and the back part of his hand against the floor at all times. So from this position, his core is tight. He's going to try his best to extend and reach his arms up and overhead, keeping all those positions, like I said before, down on the floor. He's going to bring it all the way back down, make sure the core is nice and tight. We're going to pull those shoulder blades back, make sure we're retracted at all times. And then if you could, Schauber, go ahead and sit up for me, please. So remember, if you picture him being on the floor, the shoulder blades are retracted, meaning they're pulled back and down. And then remember, from here, he's going to try his best to keep all the back part of his arm against the floor. As he fully extends, his core is tight. Should be no excessive flare of the rib cage. He comes all the way back down, squeezes the shoulder blades together at all times.
Our next exercise is going to be a bodyweight squat. We're going to have Tom here demonstrating for us. First thing he's going to do before we do the actual squat is tighten his core. His chest is going to puff up. His back is going to be nice and flat, so we have a neutral spine. What he's going to do is he's going to sit down into the squat, focus on reaching his butt back. We do not want the knees to fly forward. We want to make sure the weight stays on his heels. Once he gets to where his thigh is parallel with the ground, he's going to push through his heels, staying straight back up. So as we're sitting down in our bodyweight squat, make sure we do not want to lean forward. I want to focus on, as we sit down, is keep that weight on the heels, push through them to stand back up, making sure we hold that neutral spine the entire time. It's real important to make sure that our core stays tight so we don't lose our posture as we go up and down within our bodyweight squat. So, from the side, we can see that when he reaches back, I want to make sure the weight stays on the heels. You see the neutral spine that he has. Focus on squeezing the glutes as we stand up so that we're not using our back to raise up. You're using just your lower body.
We're going to be demonstrating a push-up for you guys today. So we have Schauber here on the floor. First thing I'm going to check for is to make sure that I want his hands just about outside shoulder width, maybe thumb in line with the midline of his chest. All he's going to do from here is he's going to come up onto his toes. He's going to keep his core rock tight. He's going to squeeze his glutes, and from there he's going to push his hands straight through the floor, pushing himself all the way up into the up position. Good. Coming back down, he's going to envision himself pulling the elbows back and down, and then repeating that motion, coming all the way back up, making sure he reaches full extension, elbows locked out. As you see, when he comes down, he keeps his core nice and tight, so he keeps his glutes contracted because we should have a nice neutral spine, meaning that you're nice and flat. There should be no excessive arching. The butt should not be up, or it should not be excessively touching towards the floor.
For our last two exercises, we're going to be doing core work. The first one we're going to start with is our anterior core, and we're going to be doing a plank. So what I'm going to ask Tom to do is first he's going to lay his body all the way out straight. Okay? He's going to be on his forearms, and we are going to raise ourselves up into our plank position. Now, your normal plank, from what a lot of people would think of, is that you are on a straight line from your shoulder all the way down towards your heel, which is not correct. I want to make sure from your shoulder to your hip is a straight line, so we have a parallel upper body here, then from your hip down to your heel is going to be another straight line. He's focusing on making sure his core stays tight. That's what we want to hold ourselves up with. I do not want to raise ourselves with our back at all. His shoulder blades are squeezed together. The chest is puffed up, just like the neutral spine we talked about earlier in our squats. Okay? And I want to focus on that our elbow is going to be right underneath our shoulder. We don't want ourselves to be having our shoulders pulled back closer to us or extended further out, just because we're going to put too much pressure on our shoulder in an incorrect manner. Right here, we're perfectly safe, just using our core to hold ourselves up. If you have any lower back pain at all during this, make sure you stop, reset yourself. Listen to all the coaching cues we had before. Emphasize focusing on using the core to hold yourself up, not your lower back. Our second core work is going to be a glute bridge. We're going to focus on our posterior core for this. I'm going to have Tom laying flat on the ground. His knees are bent, feet are going to be flat. I'm going to ask him to push through his heels, squeezing his glutes to raise himself up. Right here, we should look like we have a neutral spine, and from our shoulder to our knee is going to be in a straight line. Only using the glutes, not our lower back. We never want to use our lower back as a main supporter when we're doing our exercises. His chest is still puffed up, his back is flat. During the entire exercise, only using the glutes, do not use the lower back. Once again, if you have any pain, just like the plank in your lower back, start from the bottom, reset yourself, squeeze the glutes to get yourself back up to the top.